Vegas lights shine bright, bad boys sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Badboyz a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
Hey everybody, Matt Michaels, Rob Oscillari, and Sin City Steve here on the Vegas Badboyz of podcasting. And gentlemen, there was a Wrestledream this past Saturday, a live pay-per-view put on by those people over there at All Elite Wrestling. And this fucking happened. Yep. So before we talk about this, Sarah Stock, who was part of AEW at one point, said, "You know who should stop this? Mothers. With their remote control, this is worse than the plastic bag over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home." And then Amanda Hubert said, "This was a midnight on pay-per-view. Meanwhile, you were working when you were working, you choked another woman out with a belt. Where was the outrage over kids trying that? And you want to quote tweet a video of me talking about kids' grief to defend you being a hypocrite? Fuck all the way off." I mean, yeah. Listen. You can say what you want about the rest of the show and fantastic wrestling and everything. The fact of the matter is that the last time I checked, unless it was one step down from putting like electricity in there so that when his head went in, the thing would just go and he would get shocked.
Electrocution.
They used a flamethrower in a guy at this point. I mean, what more? This is like tame compared to what they've done already.
Well, it's not. No, this actually isn't tame because it literally is the dude having to hold his breath while his head's underwater. Listen, I saw, I've seen a live magic act who was doing an escape trick literally inches away from death. They had to abort the trick in the middle of it. And this was a professional magician. So when you're dealing with any kind of drowning thing, something can go wrong. Not saying that this was bad in terms of, how difficult it could be. But in some points, Sarah does have a point, because if you take your little kid brother who's 4 and you can take his head and put it in the fishbowl, things could go wrong. And Amanda has a point too. If you take your brother and you put a belt around his neck and you pull it, things could go wrong. So, I mean, is it just the violence in the sense of when we were kids, we were dropping elbows off a bed like Macho Man or dropping a leg like Hogan instead of, finding something that looked like barbed wire and going bashing someone with a fucking fork or a fucking pizza cutter.
New Jack was slashing people up in rings. To me, this is tame. And if you want to talk that it's a mainstream program, I guess you could say that. It's a pay-per-view. It elevates it to another level. Not a lot of parents might be even paying $50 to let their kid watch this.
Let's be realistic though. The kids, it's not necessarily the pay-per-view. And this is the point that she lost by saying it was a midnight pay-per-view. The truth of the matter is that this shit is on TikTok. That's where the influence is.
This is the violence that you're seeing on the day-to-day outside of the venue of wrestling is equally idiotic, combined with AI, which is making stuff look more and more realistic and bending reality. It's tame. He could have flipped that fish tank over. He could have just grabbed it, tipped it. He could have drank his way out of that. That's how little water was in there. He could have taken 2 big gulps and he would have been fine. That was my first thought.
The thing that kid's head is all the way in the water. That is a 12-year-old boy, right?
It absolutely is not. But I gotta say, when I was watching the show live, seriously, my thought was, okay, where are the piranhas? Because I thought that we were going that route. I didn't think that we were going to go drowning. I thought we were going to go, okay, they've been latch
onto them, right?
Where are the fucking piranhas? Now, I do have to say, they used a lot of great improvisation and planning out spots, because keep in mind, this pay-per-view was in St. Louis. Missouri has one of the more stringent athletic commissions in the country in terms of blood. So they were actually given specific things that could not be in any of the matches on the show, which looking back at it, you can see where some of these things could have made certain matches better, but no brawling in the crowd, no blood. So yeah, no blood anywhere. The only blood that happened was when a blood capsule was used in the Darby and Moxley match at the beginning with the chain spot. But yeah, no cutting other people open or anything like that. So realistically, I mean, they strategically planned out certain spots. And I think that in that match, quite honestly, they did a great job of building to those spots. Now, obviously, if you're Darby Allin, most of those spots fucking sucked for you. They absolutely fucking sucked. The gorilla press.
Quite the opposite. He's probably happy as fuck. He likes getting whipped around like that.
Hey, man, more power to him. That gorilla press slam was crazy. Even, we mentioned the fish tanks spot at the end. And then, of course, old man Sting showing up looking like a fucking boss. Looking like a fucking boss.
Oh my God, yeah.
Really?
And,
really?
Yeah.
Because that's what he used to look like 10 years.
No, but you know what? His hair is just white now, and he has a goatee. That's the real difference.
He looks like if Santa Claus lost like fucking 150 pounds and then started believing that Satan is God.
The thing is with that, man, is he has the look of the old dude that doesn't give a fuck, and it works. It absolutely works. Now, obviously, if this was just a couple of months later, we could have some fucking tie-in with Santa Claus and paint his beard red and green and shit. Oh wait, that's right.
But he came out with a members only jacket, looked cool. He smashed the fish tank with a bat and left glass and a puddle of water in the ring. And then
that
he just
wasn't
left.
A puddle of water. That was his bladder.
Oh, jeez. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. The guy looked good. He looked good. He did what he had to do. He doesn't have to take any bumps. He just has to move the match along, make it look cool.
Yeah, and then this guy, who is fucking 1/3 of his age, was the one who had to fucking take it from him, which makes no sense again.
It was so gratifying.
Well, you're there to make Sting look good, and you're there to give the crowd service, and they did, and it didn't linger on. It's not like he just stayed in the match. He did a spot and he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wish that this guy would do a spot and leave. This was my favorite thing in the whole show, was seeing that. That was great. He should go away. Go away.
Well, he's going too soon.
This guy.
Okay. So you hate Hangman Page? All right. I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's cool. I guess. Realistically, I mean, I think that this match definitely, all of the matches on the show suffered from one thing, and that was you could have trimmed about 10, maybe even in some cases 20% off of each match. And like this match in particular, obviously, we had the Hangman victory after like 8 buckshot lariats. And then after the match, you have the turn of the Ops. And yes, of all people, Katsuyori Shibata is now a heel along with Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. And honestly, this does open up, some possibility for things. Of course, Hook was affiliated with the Ops. He's now in a babyface role right along with Eddie Kingston. Could we see some sort of a thing rolling into Full Gear? Because, they're just going to run it back. And they're going to have these guys go at it at Full Gear. You see Hangman, right along with Eddie Kingston and Hook versus the Ops. It definitely adds a little bit, but yeah, I guess.
Here's my thing, real quick. I don't think that Shibata is going to be a great heel. He's going to be a henchman in this role. And the other one whose name I can't even remember because he's just a big, meaty henchman.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah. You see how forgettable he is? He's a henchman. That's his career. He's a henchman. He's always been a henchman. They try to give him stories, the Book of Hobbs, while he was in a comedy faction. He was in a comedy faction, but he was doing something serious. He's a henchman. He is Black Wardlow.
Kind of like your career. He's in a comedy role, but just serious. Rob, everything you say is so serious on stage. It's amazing.
I impersonate Donald Trump. Nothing out of my mouth is serious.
Well,
and most of what I say are quotes, not taken out of context. Look, you know what? You got AEW has more heel factions than they know what to do with, and then there's the conglomeration. It is a sea of mediocrity right now, and a few standouts, although I couldn't tell you who they are. I could not tell you. I could not care 2 fucks about Hangman Adam Page. You had the 2 Japanese guys wrestling for a tag belt. Didn't care. Oh, it's the Rainmaker. You told me that the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and Konosuke Takesha's on an up, Okada's on a down. So, Rainmaker, his best years were behind him.
Which one is top and which one is bottom again?
Yeah. Takeshita is on his way up. Okada's on his way down. You've already told me so many times that the best that these guys did was at NJPW. You've already kind of told us that they're the Golden Girls with a lot of these people. Omega, Okada, oh my God, this is the 5th in the match. Okay. They're the Golden Girls. We're seeing them at the maybe 3.5-4 mark left in their career moment. We're not going to get their best. You've kind of framed that.
Ibushi is definitely Sophia.
Yeah,
he's like the oldest one out of them all.
Right. And so who is the new face of AEW that's going to bring them into the future? Because MJF is effectively gone. I don't know
he's
what
filming
he's
stuff. I mean, realistically, yeah, he's doing filming stuff right now.
Fair. But if your guy's already got a leg in a Hollywood on the B team doing extras and filming stuff and prancing around with Adam Sandler and everything else, who is your mainstay guy that I want to see long-term storytelling from?
Well, realistically, that's the conundrum that they're in, because I would easily be able to tell you Will Ospreay or Swerve Strickland, but both of those guys are injured and will be for quite some time. Ospreay for at least another year.
Yeah.
So, I would say that they need to make some new stars. I think they are doing that. If you look at what they've done with Kyle Fletcher, the guy, realistically, I could have seen him lose to Mark Briscoe just if for no other reason than to put him in the main event on a continual basis. But yeah, I think, Takeshita is somebody that is coming into his prime. So he is somebody that could be a standard bearer. Obviously there's always going to be the underlying thing of, the language as being a stumbling block. And that's the harsh reality of it. But I think that we are about ready to see very soon, probably even on Wednesday, we'll see the split between Takeshita and Okada. Because Okada hitting Takeshita with the Rainmaker, giving him the finger, looking down at him with that shit-eating grin as he's doing it. Yeah, I mean, they're telling that story, and they've been telling that story for a while. Everybody says AEW doesn't do any storytelling. This is an example of storytelling that they're doing. Give them credit for what they're doing.
That is a good example. The rest of the Don Callis family is rotting on the vine. And what do you do now that Moxley loses? What do you do with the death runners, riders, butt fuckers? What do you do with them? Nothing. They lose.
What?
Marina
What
Shafir
are you talking about? Pax Pack, baby.
Oh, and he didn't cut his hair this time. That's the only difference. And he's wearing a full bodysuit because he's probably looks like a fucking charcuterie board at this point.
And they have Daniel Garcia. I mean, this is like hot shit right here. This is
Daniel
awesome.
Garcia. He looks like a henchman's henchman. He looks like gang member number 3.
Him and Wheeler Yuta need to make a fucking buddy cop film.
Wheeler Yuta looks like grizzled out Gap. He looks like a Gap model. He looks like he's trying to sell acid wash jeans in the 90s. Like, what are we doing with these fucking losers? They're losers. They can't cut promos. They don't win belts. Nobody gives a shit about them. Scorpio Sky, how quickly did he disappear?
Who?
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, y'all bitching and complaining about there are no stars, but right here there is one star who she could tell you how good she is because she has 1,000,002 belts.
I don't even know if that's an AI picture, if that's the real thing. It looks like she went to Costume City, or and just got belts.
I mean, some of these belts are from Costume City, like Queen of Southside Champion.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, she's Primetime Champion, Bestia Champion, Discover Wrestling Scottish Champion. I mean, good for you, Mercedes.
Wait a minute. It's either today or tomorrow. Women of Wrestling are going to be at Fremont. Are we going to see her take a belt over there?
Oh, dude, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, they've been filming.
You know what's crazy, Michaels, is the graphic that you just posted is already out of date because Mercedes has added another championship to her arsenal, if you will. So she's got fucking 12 belts at this point, defeating Jody Threat at Winnipeg Pro Wrestling.
Right.
Taking that championship.
And
so she's got 12 belts.
This AI picture is great because it's a Raw arena. You can clearly see the WWE.
Well, actually, it's got the WWE logo, but it says WAA. It says WA if you read the back.
That's an AI image? I thought she had all those fucking belts.
Well, I'm sure she at home plays with her, plays with her belt.
They better pay this shit off. Like, honestly, they need to have her. What would make the most sense? And this is not in any way, shape, or form to say that this will happen, but you easily could have you could have Statlander get her win back from Mercedes and turn her away again, and actually have that be like the catalyst to where Mercedes starts losing all of these championships, even losing the TBS title. And then at that point, that's when you build her back up and you invest in the chase with Mercedes, if you put the title on her at Full Gear over Statlander, it's one of the biggest mistakes that Tony Khan could make. So I know we make the joke, but somebody listens and watches the show in the office. Please resist all temptation to put that women's championship on Mercedes at Full Gear. Don't do it.
It will dry out your crowd.
Yeah.
And also, can we do one thing with Statlander? If we're going back to her alien persona, why is she from Long Island? Invest in her being an alien. Invest in her being wacky. She's wearing crappy jewelry on her face.
From fucking New York. You've been to Long Island. That's all there are fucking aliens.
Not anymore. My character made sure of that. No, but that's my thing. If you're going to go and write her as a wacky alien from another universe, fine. If you're going to write her off as a Long Island Jewish princess, okay, pick one. Or an Italian princess, same difference. One has a diamond ring, the other one has a diamond ring on layaway. Figure out who is who. But that's the thing. Is nail down what you want her to be. Right now, she's in very vague country, and it won't last very long. Toni Storm is timeless Toni Storm. She's going to ride that till the wheels falls off. And a couple of times she tested the water and said, "Oh, I'm being a character within a character, darling." And then you went, "All right, yeah, nobody cares about old school Toni Storm." That's why she went back to it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't help that those two didn't have a great match at the pay-per-view. Realistically, they just didn't have good chemistry. Chalk it up to whatever you will. But this match just really did not do it for me. And, later on in the show, they had a backstage segment, and it appears that Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, who lost her Ring of Honor interim women's television championship. Yes, that's the name of the title that Mina was holding, that now Mercedes is holding. But evidently we're getting Toni and Mina in a tag team going for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships, which they're supposed to announce the brackets for that tournament this coming week on Dynamite on Wednesday.
Excuse me, can you just email me that picture later on?
Well, the one thing about this picture that I found going on here that was kind of strange was this, and it looks like I tried to figure out what this was, and then I realized, oh
my gee Lord.
Gotcha.
I didn't think you were going to go that way. I thought you were going to make a comment for her doing whiteface.
No, she's in black and white all the time.
Yeah. They get the tag team. They'll get the belts. She's already had a couple of tag teams. She did Thunder Tits.
Mm-hmm.
But she has chemistry with Mina Shirakawa, and that's all you really need.
And realistically, if you do crown them as the tag champions, then it's going to give immediate credibility to those championships. Likewise, you could have them lose in the finals and actually put over like Ty J. If you want to do a homegrown talent, Anna J. And realistically, yes, Ty Mello was in NXT for a bit, but people don't really think of her as an NXT talent. Oh my God. Good Lord.
Oh.
Sammy Guevara is a lucky man.
Yeah, I know. He sucks too. He's just, but
yeah. But yeah, you could use that as the opportunity to crown them. And you could do that by having them lose or having them beat Mina and Toni. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that they could do if they play their cards right.
And, it's also this company, which has 1 billion belts. Why not do a mixed tag belt at this point? A men and women versus men and women belt. Let's go for broke. Just flood the show with belts.
Well, okay. Really quick, before we move on, any other matches stick out to you, Steve, before we get away from this?
So I do just want to briefly talk about the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express match. So the thing is, they made a point of mentioning that this was the first time that the Jurassic Express had ever beaten the Bucks. But realistically, I think that if people would, cast all prejudices aside and tribalism aside, there were a lot of great tag team moves in this match. I think that something that gets lost in today's pro wrestling world is the synchronicity with tag team wrestling and creating new tag team double team moves. And there certainly was no shortage of it in that match. And also even in the Brodito and Okada Takeshita match. But great showing by all four of those guys, or all three of those guys in the Dinosaur.
Well, I had one match that stuck out to me, and that was the way they started the whole thing. You start the program in the middle of a match with Jet Speed and FTR, and I kind of was pissed at the ending because I kind of felt like they were trying to do a service to FTR and not have them lose, and you wanted to put Jet Speed over, but then you have Stokely be the reason that there's a loss with the grabbing of the ankles. That annoyed me. That annoyed me that there wasn't a clean finish to that. Those guys really went really well together. Bailey is so fucking good in the ring. Absolutely. And he's even more effective as a tag guy. Yeah. I mean, they did a great job, and that wasn't.
Here's the thing, Rob. I appreciate your opinion, but I would love to hear Mike Bailey's from him himself to tell us about how he feels about his in-ring abilities.
I will bring him next week. I actually have I've got Mike Bailey ready to go.
Oh shit.
I'll bring him next week.
No, so Rob, what did you think about the fact that this match bled over from the pre-show to the main show?
Part of me was a little annoyed because it took away a little from your programming. Your programming should be, even though sometimes you want to fast forward through it, or if you're watching live, you go to grab a drink or a snack, but you don't hype up the beginning and you're in the middle of a program. So it was very rushed. It seemed unprofessional. Okay. It seemed unprofessional. It seemed like there was a little less flair. The thing with AEW is they do not have that same production value that WWE has. They don't have a polished product. When you watch Shivani at the beginning, he was mid-thought and they cut him off. And you could see him biting his lip because he had something else he wanted to say. You could see they're getting instructions of the fly, and they're not keeping up with what they're being told. Yeah. And that was annoying to watch.
Yeah. Matt, did you check out the pay-per-view? Did you see the bleed over from the pre-show into the main show?
Yeah. So I guess, the one thing that I think about doing something like that is that you kind of got a weird thing here. One, anyone who's watching the pre-show who's not going to buy the pay-per-view is not going to see the end of it. So you're literally just cutting off the feed on that. And then people who don't necessarily watch the pre-show because it's another 2-3 hours, whatever.
Yeah, no shit.
Right. Now you start the pay-per-view and all of a sudden you've got a match already that's been going on. So
hi guys, we're here. There's a match.
Yeah. So I get trying something new. That's fine. The question is it sustainable to do that kind of thing? And also, it wasn't like that match. Maybe you do that with, something that is like a title match, right? And, you pump it on the pre-show like, hey, we're about to go off the air. You got to buy this pay-per-view now to see what happens. And if so-and-so retains, give it stakes.
Give stakes to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Yeah. My thing is like, I think that it's good to do something like that to, not make it an every single pay-per-view thing.
Right.
But I liked it. I thought that it added to the spontaneity of the show. And Rob, I totally get your point about it lacking professionalism and stuff like that. But my thing is that it's okay to do that every now and then. Which this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this done at all, ever. So I knew that there was going to be something, because just looking over the number of matches on the main show, they never do less than 10 matches seemingly on the main show. So you had to figure that some matches were going to go long. You were going to get some matches that weren't announced, all that kind of thing. But I just have to applaud them for at least trying something completely different and out of the box.
I would have made an amendment to that. I would have said, okay, we're going to jump into the match first, but we're still going to have an opening title credit. We're still going to have our video
package.
And we go, hey, this is Wrestledream, the best wrestle, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the pan out, and then you zoom in slowly, and then you go, hey, we're in the middle of a match. This is a banger of a match between FTR and Jet Speed. Let's take you to it.
Well, if they would have had Lee Fitting.
But the catch is, to have Lee Fitting, his name's got to show up at the end of the fucking show.
Right.
That's the only thing to get Lee Fitting.
Right. Exactly. All right. So Tony made a comparison this week that was just fucking ridiculous between Jon Moxley and Harley Race. Former AEW coach referred to Tony Khan's comparison as blasphemous. Tony said about Moxley, he's won the most championships. He's traveled the world. He's a hardened veteran. He's from the Midwest, and he's a straight shooter. And he's a great person who's respected by his peers, who takes no gruff, and is so respected as a pro wrestling veteran. Actually, many times in Jon Moxley's matches, I've observed it was like watching a great Harley Race match, or even someone like Harley Race's great matches in Japan reminds me of some great Jon Moxley matches. So there's a lot of great influences and a lot of great wrestlers and that contribute to Jon Moxley. But Jon Moxley is also an incredible, very unique personality in the world of pro wrestling, who I think it's really cool that he draws comparison to such a great champion like Harley Race. Wait, he draws comparison? No, you just compared him. He doesn't draw comparison. You just compared
That's
him.
a Donald Trump playbook.
Yep.
I think that he's one of the greatest guys.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what Ace Steel had to say about Khan's comments. Count this as one of the dumbest and most blasphemous things I've ever read. Utter crap. Really infuriating. Zero comparison.
Well, consider the source of who said that. Keep in mind.
But at the same time,
love lost there with Ace Steel and anybody involved with AEW.
Yeah. At the same time, the comparison to Harley Race is one of the long stretches of comparison because of the fact that Jon Moxley's wrestling is nothing like Harley Race in terms of what Jon doesn't bring in the viewers, right? I would argue that AEW's key to keeping the audience, in fact, most of the people during this run of the Rough Riders or the whatever the fuck they're called.
It's a brand of condoms now.
The honest answer is that most AEW fans were just like, this is fucking stupid. Let's move on. This is ridiculous. Why?
He's like Harley Race in one way. They both gave a detailed explanation of how blading works. One showed you in the ring live as it's going on, and the other did a how-to-it video.
Right, and the thing is I mean, the only comparison would be is if Moxley pulled a gun on Tony in the locker room, then okay, maybe, because that's a Harley thing to do.
Did Moxley ever threaten somebody's life on a boat?
Probably not. Probably not. But
Renee,
yeah,
blink a couple of times if everything's cool.
No shit. No.
but I
It's a
don't
Harley
know.
race diss, not a Moxley diss.
I just think it's just a little bit of a stretch, being that you have guys in that company who, arguably Jericho, for instance, way more accomplished than Moxley, to be comparing to someone of that level. Moxley's not a Hall of Famer yet.
He will be. He'll be a Hall of Famer in
Possibly.
WWE for the Shield, and he'll be a Hall of Famer in AEW.
So I'm genuinely curious what more he would need to do to be a Hall of Famer. He is one of the very, very limited number of people in the sport to be a WWE World Champion, an AEW World Champion, and an IWGP World Champion. In fact, I don't think anyone else has done it other than Jericho, maybe.
Yeah.
Has Jericho held that title?
No,
No, he hasn't held the IWGP.
Be entertaining.
He is when he got. See, here's the thing: when he got into
sell tickets. Harley Race sold tickets.
There you go.
And that's the one thing that
I was looking for some sort of a quantifiable thing as to
but
how.
Is that his fault or is that Tony Khan's fault?
It's totally Tony Khan's fault in terms of the promotion of him being your champion 3 different times. That you can't, get people into your arena. The attendance has gone down with Moxley as champion. Now that
it didn't go up when they got Edge, when they got Copeland, it didn't go up. Is that Copeland's fault that they go to the Metro in Montreal and it's 3,000 out of 16,000 seats?
Again, it's Tony's promotion. What I'm saying though is the guy has gone to this guy 3 times, and the numbers don't go and jump Punk shows up and those numbers fucking went through the roof because Punk is a draw.
But you complain. We all complained about Hangman Adam Page as your title holder. Who are you going to get out of the available roster that they have that's going to make numbers skyrocket? When Mercedes Moné came out and you heard CEO for the first time, everyone was chanting it. After a week and a half, we were like, fuck. They went that route with her. You went, shit. And they never changed it. We've seen people, remember when CM Punk had the belt in WWE and Paul Heyman was his guy, and he went from heel to face, and everyone was with it. Oh, you're a face this week? Cool. You're a heel this week? Still cool. We're with you. You're facing off against Cena? Still cool. We're with you. No one's with this crap.
But what's interesting, if you look at, everyone complains about the WWE having the same champions, right? But yet you still draw, right? You still get X amount of numbers, you still draw. When you put the belts on guys like Kofi, there was not that draw. And what did they do? They backed off and went back to someone who had the numbers. This is one of the reasons I get frustrated with you have MJF. Now I get he's filming or Strickland's hurt or whatever. But those guys, at least you're getting a fresh take. You're not going back to the WWE guys. You're not going back to the elite guys. The guys that you tried and are not drawing numbers. So give me something that's fresh, that causes that excitement, that maybe now we start sparking the conversation of younger kids that like, hey, man, this is cool. I just don't think Moxley's cool.
Right.
In that sense.
He was, but he never grew.
Right.
And by the way,
there was the potential to be there.
Yeah. And now he loses his belt. He goes, we don't care about belts. I'm hardcore. He loses a hardcore match to a scrappy looking dude who climbed Mount Everest, which is his greatest accomplishment. So you can't go back to the John Moxley well for a long time. Claudio Castagnoli has no personality. None of the people in that faction have personality. None of the people in the Don Callis organization, except your 2 Japanese wrestlers, have a personality. You're a proto star. You have a belt. Why are you still calling yourself a proto star? You have the belt. You have not the belt, but you have a belt. So you're even downgrading yourself. You've got a lot of people who are all pseudo heels. Your baby faces aren't in any contention. You've got Orange Cassidy back, not in any contention for anything. You've got the conglomeration. None of those guys are in contention for anything. It's a sea of heels. There's no standout among them. That's the problem. You have nobody I want to get behind.
There's one guy that I think that we all could have gotten behind, but he's been fired. So
Oh boy.
we're not going to see him for at least a year.
At least a year.
It's and again, Steve and I were kind of talking about this before we started, and it just seems like it was his own fault. He apparently knew better. He knew what the deal was and just didn't disclose it to anyone. And the legal team didn't have to do any searching on his WWE contract because apparently the word was trusted, and so the backlash hit, and Tony just basically has to say, well, we'd work with him again.
Maybe. What about the Puerto Rican title he won in that promotion?
And that's the thing is I haven't heard anything about, what's going to happen with that Crash championship. But yeah, the thing that stands out is Tony Khan did his media call this past week for Wrestledream, and he was asked, the very first question that he was asked was about the Andrade situation. And I think that it was very telling that Tony answered the question the exact way that he did when Andrade left the company previously, saying that he wished him well and that he'd like to do business with him again in the future. So you just have to figure, did Tony Khan just pull the contract completely? And is there really, nothing there at this point?
Pause, though. Even let's say everything went the way Andrade wanted to. He was going to be a Don Callis henchman.
Yeah,
there was already other people in the Don Callis family in title contentions, and it wasn't going to be him for a while.
It has nothing to do with what would have been, what was going to be, et cetera, et cetera.
He should have
everything to do with the fact for the last 3 weeks was he got fired from the WWE. He showed up on AEW, then he disappeared, and everyone was like, what the fuck happened? And the honest answer was he fucked himself again. It seems like that this guy is the problem, not the companies. Not the owners, nothing.
The lesson learned here is that when Charlotte Flair says you're taking it up the ass, we're tickling the prostate, you fucking take it up the ass. His career went down the shitter, and then she walked out on WWE wearing his suit, and it was the end of it for him. If she was going to bang you with some flair, you fucking take it. Whoa.
Well, speaking of banging with some flair, SmackDown saw this man return to the U.S. Open Challenge. First off, Dragunov look at this motherfucker. He was looking so good.
And a new tattoo.
Yeah. And he this moment.
They had enough time for a neck tattoo, but not enough time for them to, plastic surgeon his nose up so it's lined up.
No, dude, you got to keep that personality, bro. But just a fucking great way. Usually the returns, right? We see, champion, open challenge. Oh, look, it's Dragunov. He's back. All right. Ooh, it's a great match. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Yep. And it's like, holy shit. And then we continue with the Sokoa boys with the beatdown on Sammy and Dragunov. So it looks like we're getting closer to being with Shinsuke and Sammy and Dragunov. So it looks like there'll probably be, 2 more, I guess, to do a Survivor Series match.
That would make sense,
Yeah, well, Rob, at least it's something.
I don't care.
Good.
Sammy
Good.
Callahan.
I will fucking text that to I'll fucking text Cobb since he's in town. I'll let him know.
Hey, JC Cobb, whatever the fuck your name is. Cool. You want to look like dead presidents now. I don't fucking care. I don't care if you guys win.
Keep talking. Oh, this is gonna be
I don't care if you guys lose. I'm glad that you're a henchman again. You know, you're a good henchman. You're an Olympic henchman.
What else do you want to say? Oh, I know you want to say it more.
Hey, you got, you know, better mic skills than Moose does, and I called him a mushmouth. So, but you're a henchman, and I really don't fucking care what happens. And it's also WWE. It's not going to be like it's going to be blood and guts. This is going to be like the Fisher Price version of two fucking rings put together. Maybe they'll have a thumbtack spot or some shit, or like, you know,
it's not going to be the War Games match, dude. It's just going to be a Survivor Series match.
Yeah, whatever.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
War Games is going to be the big boys, but this is going to be.
Oh well, so he's not even a big boy. I didn't even go there.
So he's not in the main event picture. We know that.
Well, I know. You know, a lot of these guys aren't main event.
But you did say he's just a henchman, so you know, it's cool.
Look, Sami Zayn is boring. Sami Zayn is fucking boring. Dragunov is not boring. Ilya Dragunov is not boring. Ilya Dragunov's finisher is he just punches you in the fucking face by landing on you with all of his weight coming into one punch. He's a graphic, gritty wrestler. I'm glad to see that he survived. He looks good. The big leg brace, which is bigger than the Stone Cold ones, is a bit, it looks a bit much, but it is what it is. Safety first. He'll do it, and he'll be a fighting champion. No doubt about it. He'll take what Sami Zayn was doing and make it way the fuck more interesting. I feel like Sami Zayn is never going to be any world heavyweight champion. I just don't see them ever giving it to him.
I think he'll get it once, like in kind of like a career culmination kind of a thing.
I would like to see him take a couple of months off, come back with his hair cut, clean shaven, retro version of himself, and just sell it as a really clean, family friendly Sami Zayn. If you're going to go do the, happy-go-lucky, quirky underdog route, make him look like the cleanest version of himself. Go back to day one Sami Zayn. And then I would get behind that. If you're going to, I don't like this guy coming out with looking like homeless Sami Zayn. If you want to wear pro-Palestinian colors, I'm cool with that. Don't care about that. But I don't like his current angle. It just doesn't go anywhere for me.
Okay. I'm sorry. Was Rob talking this whole time?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. All right.
What, you like him walking around with a fucking homeless guy, beer and hair for fucking 7 years?
Sure. Because it was more entertaining than fucking El Generico without a mask, which is basically El Generico.
Damn.
So he got character when he fucking got the persona. But speaking of character, well, it looks like this is what we're getting going into Saturday night's main event. Drew and Cody, which in that picture looks like Cody's wrestling Bruiser Brody or something. Jesus Christ.
No shit.
Like Cody's saying, say my name, you son of a bitch.
So, not a bad matchup. It gives something for Drew to kind of keep, that spotlight on him.
And are we planting seeds for a Cody heel turn?
The belt to the face. The belt to the face.
Yeah. So realistically, I think that, if they do choose to go with something along that line, I think that we need to see a heel Cody Rhodes. He's done it before when, right after he left, right after WWE released him, I should say, when he hit the indies, he did roll as a heel for a bit, and he was extremely fucking entertaining. So yes, please bring that to main roster WWE and do it as soon as possible.
And New Japan Pro Wrestling, he was the American Nightmare, cultivated that, fought Moose when Moose was a babyface, trying to help his wife, Brandy. I mean, it could be done.
No, I think it has to be done, and it would be pretty awesome. So one of the cool things that happened was WWE was in Japan.
Yes.
This was a great photo, man.
Fucking Kikutaro.
Yeah, just fucking awesome with Punk. Rhea
Jeez.
preparing herself to the dog.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah, I was look at that, man. Oh, so she'll be out of action for a little bit. We found out tonight on Raw.
Yeah.
But of course, the biggest moment.
Yes.
What a cool thing to see everyone just put AJ on the shoulders and give him such a send off, and everyone is now talking about it, and it's awesome. Yeah,
Well deserved, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bionic Scoop, that's her dog too.
Yeah, it is.
What's up, Scoop?
So yeah, that was Japan. This was Raw. They vacated the title. They had a battle royal tonight. It ended up being Jey Uso who won the battle royal. So Jey and CM Punk are going to go for the world title on Saturday night's main event on the 1st. And then also we got new tag team champions. Look at this. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. That is just fucking awesome. Great way to get Dragon Lee a little rub by being with AJ. And man, that match was really solid. Just there was some really good stuff on Raw tonight. Stephanie might be hurt. We don't know exactly what happened with that, but some good stuff going down on Raw. Okay. All right. So from that, on to Steve.
All right. So last week, the over-under was for the AEW Wrestledream pay-per-view length. I said the over would be 4.5 hours. And yeah, as if you needed further fucking proof, the time for AEW Wrestledream was 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 15 seconds. So yeah, it went over, just like I said. And this upcoming week on Dynamite, we are going to be getting the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship brackets released. And unlike there being, just 4 teams or whatever, I think that the over-under on this is that they're going to have 7.5 teams, meaning this will be an 8-team tournament. And I think that they have been doing great things with building the AEW women's tag team division. And I think that you could easily do your quarterfinals and your semis, and then have your finals at the Full Gear pay-per-view and crown your inaugural tag team champions right there at Full Gear.
Yeah. Well, that's actually probably what's going to end up going on. I think you're very close on that. So that sounds about right. Well, let's see. All right, a little presidential pontification from the President of the United States.
If AEW had a king, if AEW had a king, they would do such a good job. The ratings would be tremendous. They would not have to worry about all of these. Look, who are their best stars right now? Takeshita. That's what you called it. I didn't call it that. You said it. Takeshita and Okada and a lot of people, quite honestly, who don't even speak English. It's so sad. Okay, it's so sad. We dropped atomic bombs on these people 50 years ago, 70 years ago. And now we're giving them championship title reigns. This is sad. This is so sad. Okay. I like Americans. I like Jonathan Moxley. Okay. Mr. John Moxley, Donald Jonathan Moxley. We like that. We like that a lot. And then he's got this wife. She's Canadian. She probably went to a No Kings rally. we're going to have to take a huge dump all over the Tony Khan family. It's a Khan job. It's AEW. They say it's where the best wrestle. And your tag team guys, the Young Bucks, they're dead up to their eyeballs. They can't even afford a good video on the Titantron. You've got Darby Allin, who looks like he's from Portland, quite honestly. And that's what you get with these people. He looks like he's from Portland, please. He set half that city on fire. You know he did. He set Portland on fire, and we're looking into whether or not we could get him deported. We're thinking West Uganda. We're looking into it. They've got no people of... We're looking for Caucasians. We want some Caucasian champions, okay? So sad what they've allowed to happen there. You know, what's wrong with a white champion? What's wrong? And not MJF, okay? Not too many tribes over there at AEW. And if you're going to use people, you got to use, like they got the Raquel Rodriguez, okay? She speaks English. No translator. Stephanie Becker, she's been champion 2 weeks. They rushed her off to a center where she's going to be looked at, and she might have to vacate the belt too. Okay, we're looking into that. Okay, this is some really sick stuff that's going on there. Okay, back to you, Michaels.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. President. All right, time to take a little social media dump. We'll start here with the big announcement of what's happening at WrestleMania in Vegas this year. What do we think? Do we think that these people, who are predicting this match between Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar, could this be the match?
I'm good with that. I mean, realistically speaking, yeah, they would beat the shit out of each other. They would elevate the spot for sure.
Rob, what do you think?
I don't know who Rob is, but I know that big, meaty men slapping man meat is quite honestly what people would like to see. I think that would be a great show, be a tremendous show. And I'm looking into coming in as Brock Lesnar's manager. So it would be Paul Heyman versus Donald Trump. I think that would be a great show. People would pay a lot of money for that.
Okay. Well, there we go. Hopefully that's what we'll see. And it will involve Mr. Paul Heyman, of course. So here's a little thing to make everyone sad. The only one remaining of Taker, Kane, Triple H, HBK, John Cena, and Randy Orton from 2008 is going to be Randy Orton in 2026. Oh, that makes me mad, man. Yeah, makes me feel old. Though. Yeah. This man right here, look at it. Stopped by NXT and got a picture with, Blake there. Cena.
I think her name is Mariah May.
I don't think so. I think it's
like, Mariah, may you please sign this non-disclosure?
Oh my God.
Jesus. Fucking NDAs.
Hey. Looks like Kevin James got a Halloween costume. All right. There we go at the football game in San Francisco. Punk, LA Knight, Bailey, Roxanne, the Usos, and Baby Mama Uso. Pretty cool that they were out there. And again, they were all over the show. So good promotion there. Cool retro picture of Jimmy Hart looking all rock and roll right there. Andre and Dusty.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, man, that's fucking amazing. I love that picture.
Yeah.
And here, look at this. The time that Honky Tonk Man wasn't a heel yet, as he came into the Federation.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had him as a face for the first month or so as they were trying things out. and Hogan got beat down. Was even bleeding there. So this like is a fucking house show where Hogan was bleeding.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the Honky Tonk Man was helping him. Speaking of, oh boy, look at that.
Costomania.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a one spicy meatball. All right, here we go. Speaking of spicy meatballs. Yeah,
Yes.
Halloween time. Look at the Ghostbusters car, and oh man,
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
nope. Oh, look at Mandy.
Whew.
A little bit more. Oh, a little more Mandy.
Hello.
Ah, look at Mandy. Oof, that's a lot of Mandy. Oh, but then we got a little soul. Got some soul going on here, huh? A little bit of Mandy, a little bit of soul.
I'm ready to introduce some presidential pardons for what I'm about to do.
Little Julia.
Damn.
Yeah. Can't go wrong, right?
No.
And then of course this.
Oh yeah.
A little Stephanie and Rhea, and of course,
You gotta love it.
yeah, can't go wrong there. And speaking of this, what a legendary run by Ludwig Kaiser. First, he was with Tiffany Stratton, then he slid into Charlotte Flair's DMs, and now he's enjoying Japan with Io Sky. The man can do it all.
That's like a continental buffet.
Yeah.
And fish is on the menu 3 times in a row.
Homie is on the run of a lifetime.
Yeah. Seeing my life flash before my eyes, I asked if she was going to save some Reese's for the trick-or-treaters. Some wrestling fans, when you tell them they can like what they like without attacking fans of the other thing.
No shit.
This was great. AEW recognized Lou Thesz's widow, Charlie Thez, and then Tony signed her to a 3-year deal of in-ring competition. So she should be debuting in the tag tournament, I believe.
She's going to be in the AEW Mae Young Classic.
Hey, look at this guy going into court. All skunked up, or as
the fuck, dude.
Soprano Central said when he'd go to the hairdresser and ask for the reverse Polly Walnuts.
He wishes he. I told Vince. I called him. I said, Vince, what's with the hair? You should use the people I got. They get great results. Look at this. This is great results. I've got hair like never before seen. He should have called me. You don't want to go into court and look like a cartoon rapist when they're accusing you of rape. It's just a thing.
Jesus. Well, speaking of rape, here's a picture of Bear from Big Blue House and Randy Macho Man Savage on Hollywood Squares in 2004. Iconic. Okay, speaking of icons, this was posted by Sport Bible. Undertaker, Austin, Cena, Rock, Mount Rushmore. What do you guys do? Do you replace? Do you keep? What do you do on those 4?
That's a tough one.
Are we saying any particular era, or is this confined to attitude?
It wasn't. It really wasn't. It was just this person's take on their Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and I can't believe I'm saying this. You either get rid of Stone Cold or The Rock and replace them with Ric Flair. And
I was gonna say replace Rock with Hogan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Stone Cold with Flair, maybe. Because Stone Cold's career was too short.
And I mean, realistically, like if you want to go, it all depends on how far back you want to go. But the argument could be made that you even remove Undertaker for like Andre, maybe. If you wanted to go down that route and pay homage that far back. So
it looks like it's just Attitude Era service, basically. with Cena as a throw-in. You gotta keep Taker on there for what he's doing outside of the ring to keep pushing the brand. And even though you could make that same argument with The Rock, I don't know. That's a tough one. You got to have Cena on there now, maybe because of all the belts he's won, but I don't know. But he also won a lot of belts during a really shitty time, post-Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So it's a tough call. I don't know. That's a really tough call. But you have to have Flair and Hogan on there. That's a non-negotiable. You don't have modern wrestling without Flair and Hogan. It doesn't connect with audiences if you're just doing, I got Harley Race and I got this guy. No. You got to have Flair and Hogan. So I don't know. Take off Stone Cold and The Rock. Sucks to say it. Or make 2 Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we did the WCW Mount Rushmore last week, so that's kind of what I'm thinking with this is, keeping people that I think of as being WWF or WWE guys, as opposed to, having Flair on there. That's the only reason why I didn't mention him for this one, but yeah, definitely I see where the point could be made. Absolutely.
Yeah. You could also go, you could go Hogan from the 80s era. You could go, Stone Cold from that era, Cena from that middle era. And then you would go Roman for the modern era, right? So if you want to just go 4 different eras, then you can go that way too. So,
and Bruno Sammartino, that was another one.
Yeah, I mean, you can go Bruno as well. Personally, I go with Cena, and Cena, but I don't know. You can't see that. So today we remember Scott Hall would have been his 67th birthday today. Quote, hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. And fortunately, last night we lost Sir Mo, Bobby Horn. Just impactful in so many people's lives.
Men on a mission, bro.
Yeah, man. And just so good to so many young wrestlers. So and finally, Cody Rhodes here. This was incredible. This picture was taken. If you look closely, you could see he was watching on his phone.
DJ Impact's raw high cowboy boots, white snake skin pattern on the top of the shoe. I got my hat on, I'ma tie it with a noose, cause I love you to death, girl, you got me on mute. Yeah, these girls do the most, like every time I talk, they don't like what I post. I went down to Texas to perform a couple shows, cause they love the way I move and they love the way I roll. Big pimpin' on a flight to New York. No, I'm not from Texas, but I'm on the dance floor. Do-si-do with a blonde little bang. I just might give her a ring and I just wanna hear her say, DJ Impact's raw high cowboy boots, white snake skin pattern on the top of the shoe. I got my hat on, I'ma tie it with a noose, cause I love you to death, girl, you got me on mute.
All right, well, Cody apparently enjoyed that very much. And wait, no, I guess he wasn't looking that at a closer look. He actually was looking at this.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's here we go.
All right, Rob, what you got going on?
Yes, you do have my 8:30 October 27th show, and there will be one on October 25th. Doors open at 7 p.m. It is at 3850 West Nevso Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89103. And I'll be at Hamburger Mary's on October 30th at 8 o'clock. So
full drag or?
Sure. I did drag Donald Trump once. I came in a blue cocktail dress with a sash that said "birthday girl," and lipstick, and my ability to apply makeup, as I was told by some of the LGBTQ people, was terrible. And I was like, thank God, because if you don't like it, that means I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, you don't want to get a compliment from a gay guy on your makeup. So,
oh boy. Oh,
you know, then that means I got to start thinking about stuff. Got to start reevaluating life.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Steve, what do you got to say?
Oh man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands, foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, general energy, and PP needs. Yeah, reppsports.com. Promo code Vegas at checkout. Save yourself 10%.
All right. Well, on that note, let's head it over to a certain guy who I believe is still over at the Virgin Hotel all these months later. Tony, are you there?
Did any of you have a great time tonight? Yeah.
With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mic is glowing in the desert nights. Matt Michaels leading with the swagger tights. Sin City Steve right by your side. Alright, raw bunch of Larry dropping truths, no fear. Broadcasting stories, make it loud and clear. From the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere. These bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad boys, tearing up the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much